set to announce in exactly 1 hour from now. It is now 12:14 Central Standard Time, 1:15 Eastern. At 2:15 Eastern, 1:15 Central, 12:15 Mountain, 11:15 Pacific, they are set to announce what they've already told the world in the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times they're going to do. That the answer to our economic problems is quantitative easing of $100 billion, 50 to 100 billion or maybe more per month of the Federal Reserve buying U.S. Treasury notes. The Federal Reserve set the monetary policy. They make the profit off of all this free money they get. And despite the fact they've gotten tens of trillions of dollars of taxpayer money in the last 2 years since the banker bailout takeover, since then, they have frozen that money to the public and pushed us into a depression while lying and saying unemployment is 9.6% when even economists on 60 Minutes say 17+% nationwide, 22 in California. The economists we have on and big mainline institutions say it's 22+% nationwide, 30 to 31% in California. And the globalist answer is carbon taxes on our economy when nobody else has to put them in place that would kill the economy, and tax increases that we know will shut down the economy. That is the goal. Shut down the economy, make you dependent on government and the select inner coterie of corporations that have become powerful through their control of government and the corporate welfare. And so, Bill Clinton and the Democrats, along with some Republicans, get rid of Glass-Steagall in '99. Bush expands it with Henry Paulson. Obama comes in, gets 4 times the Wall Street money. 4 times. 5 times the Goldman Sachs, but 4 times the overall Wall Street money that McCain got. But no, we're not saying McCain's good. He wasn't meant to win. He wasn't the Hollywood candidate. He was just as bad. They just thought he couldn't sell the agenda as well. Time for a fake change. That was a fake change. We don't know if this change is fake. We know it's partially fake, but we know there's some good elements there, and we know the issues they're covering are at least anti-New World Order and aren't, oh, we'll give you change, socialist health care, open borders, more wars. This, at least on the surface, they're having to talk the talk, showing the awakening. I keep going back to that. But Obama accelerates the looting, started by Clinton, working in tandem with rhinos, Republican in name only. And now the talking point on CNN, MSNBC, CNBC is Rand Paul is going to cause a depression. So they've denied we're going into a depression. Now, because some patriots have gotten in, they're going to try to discredit cutting taxes, discredit cutting spending, and say that this was all caused by Rand Paul, who won't be in office for 2.5 months. He won't be sworn in until January, mid-January. But it's already his fault. That's the new talking point. They're going to blame us, just like they did in '29. People saw what was happening. They got in. They put in reforms. The bankers had already started the implosion. They blamed it on the patriots. They're going to try that again. I've told you their ball game. They're going for it. Now, here is the clip from MSNBC cutting into Rand Paul's speech and blaming him for the economy. Here it is. We're going to go empowered to prevent us from raising the debt ceiling, because it must be raised on a date certain at a particular time on the clock, or the United States government goes into default. If he filibusters the debt ceiling beyond that point, he can not only destroy the credit rating of the United States of America, he can wreak havoc on the world financial markets, cause a worldwide depression with one consistent holding to principle, which is his notion of the American government's relationship to debt. This, by the way, is a challenge for Boehner in the House, his worst challenge. He must, and he knows it, pass a debt ceiling increase in his Republican House of Representatives. He will do it. But Rand Paul can stop it by himself.
Well, but the Republicans look back at 1995, they look back at Newt Gingrich and the government shutdown, and the lesson this year, before this year, the lesson was that was horrible. It was right, but they look back at that government shutdown and they think,
stay there.
Before this year, the lesson of that was...
We're going to come back and finish the rest of it. So the Federal Reserve has destroyed our dollar by design. They're set to make the announcement to fully destroy it. And they're saying Rand Paul's doing it. It's all the big debt designed to not be able to be paid back. And their answer is go deeper into debt. So you can see how over the top, out in the open, these people are. They think their viewers are complete morons, are complete idiots. So you can see where this is going. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange home gain gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com. HomeGain.com. Check them out today.
Is it really possible to get out of debt without payment plans or attorneys? 18 years ago, we developed a program that has made thousands debt-free in just 90 days. It's called Zero Debt in 90 Days, and it works for all credit card debt, medical bills, even collection lawsuits.
When I first joined, I was being sued. So I used the program methods, and after filing one piece of paper, the collection lawsuit was dismissed.
With Zero Debt in 90 days, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back and stop creditors in only 90 days, guaranteed. Prevent wage garnishments, bank levies, and stop collection calls with our proven program. Call Zero Debt in 90 days now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
Hi, this is Dwayne Daly with Midas Resources, Precious Metals Brokers, and my phone number is 800-686-2237, extension 115. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, then perhaps it's time for a change. You have the opportunity to make a change in November by voting, and the opportunity to make a change in your financial security today by calling me, Dwayne Daly. Get the stability and peace of mind that you deserve with gold and silver, a form of wealth protection for 5,000 years. As the inflation pinch becomes tighter and the dollar continues to devalue, while stocks remain iffy at best, stop the bleeding with precious metals. Metals will let you retain your purchasing power, protect your assets, and stop inflation the day you get in. I have many different ways to accomplish this, from metals for possession to IRA rollovers, tax-free, and everything in between. So if you would like to turn your scrambled nest egg into a souffle, call me, Dwayne Daly, at 800-686-2237, extension 115. 800-686-2237, extension 115. If you are ready for a change, please call Dwayne Daly.
When you hear the words water purification, what comes to mind? If it's Berkey Water Purification Systems, this message is for you. Did you know that over 60% of municipal water contains fluoride at less than 2 cents per gallon? Berkey water filters purify treated and untreated water, remove dangerous chlorine, fluoride, and contaminants from municipal water. These filters are powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, making them perfect for rainwater collection systems. From the smallest to the largest systems, BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has what you need. With your system purchase, you'll receive a shower filter, a fluoride filter, or 2 sport Berkey bottles absolutely free. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com would like to offer GCN listeners 5% off all ceramic filter systems and ship all orders over $50 free of charge. Visit BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. Or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY today.
I don't have time to play all of this MSNBC hit piece, and there's a bunch of other ones. They're all up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. But they go on to say his speech was dictatorial. How dare an elected representative say, look, we're done with the corruption in Washington. You're supposed to all be timid and tepid, not to rally people. And, oh, my gosh, you know, if he doesn't let us raise the debt, Obama spending more than all presidents before him combined, why then we're going to have a depression. This is the same thing Henry Paulson did on October 1st, 2008. And we had members of Congress on who were in the meetings. People couldn't believe it when the congressmen, 2 of them told you. Then a year later, mainstream media talked to Paulson. He admitted he went into closed sessions of the Senate and House in closed committees and said, we're going to have martial law, blood in the streets, if you don't give us this $887 billion. But then Bloomberg's reported it's 23.7 and then another $5 billion on top of it, trillion, excuse me, 23.7 trillion with another $5 trillion on top of it of money the Federal Reserve took, and they won't tell Congress where it is. So we can see where they're going. They're going to hold everybody hostage. It's not just the communist Chinese that are the number one holders of our debt. Number 2 is the Federal Reserve. And starting today, they're going to accelerate the buying of our debt. The private Federal Reserve is going to buy $50 to $100 billion a month of T-bills because foreign governments won't buy it because the dollar's being devalued by the Federal Reserve. They set policy to put us into this position, and then they buy our debt to get control. And then they have their talking heads say, okay, you go ahead. You go ahead and try to go with Rand Paul. You go ahead and try to cut taxes. You go ahead and try to freeze spending. You go ahead and try to cut defense. We'll just accelerate the depression. The same threat from 2 years ago, 2 years and a month ago, 25 months ago. It's the same thing they did this year to give the Federal Reserve more power. Oh, it's a banking reform bill designed to shut down local banks. What does Rand Paul talk about? He talked about that last night on TV. He talked about how the EPA and others get to set their own laws outside of Congress. He's saying, we're the representatives. That's going to stop. We're getting out of NAFTA and GATT. We're going to abolish the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve goes, well, we teamed up with the Chinese, and we handed over the Panama Canal, and we've sold this country out. We own you. Go ahead and try it, Rand Paul. I'm going to play some more of this and then come back in a long segment and go to Cabron, John, Damien, Ray, Morgan, and others that are patiently holding, but I need to get to this. Let's play the rest of this clip. Here it is.
But the Republicans look back at 1995. They look back at Newt Gingrich and the government shutdown, and the lesson this year, before this year, the lesson was that was horrible. It was right, but they look back at that government shutdown and they think, before this year, the lesson of that was, oh, the Republicans went too far. This year, Republicans' lesson on that was, we should have gone farther. We should have held it closed for longer. They're going to look at that. They've already been talking about this. They're going to look at that debt ceiling vote.
Compared to the debt.
I know, but the Republican rhetoric around this cannot be underestimated. People as centrist in the Republican Party as Michael Steele have said there will be no compromise on that debt ceiling vote. Mike Lee of Utah, Rand Paul of Kentucky. It is not just one guy.
Michael Steele doesn't understand what it is. He's the same guy who didn't know what the minimum wage was when I asked him. They do not comprehend the worldwide economic depression that would be caused instantaneously by the United States government defaulting on its debt, which they are empowered to make.
They salivated the thought.
Mitch McConnell understands it.
He does.
They're defaulting now by monetizing the debt that's been going on for 2 years and that they're going to accelerate today. They're defaulting. That's why people aren't buying the Treasury notes anymore, because the word's out that they're going to torch the dollar. There they are, the ones guilty of it, trying to blame Rand Paul. Continue.
So Mitch McConnell understands it.
And he kind of understands Rand Paul, a little bit.
Kind of.
So you think Mitch McConnell won't let him do it?
Well, I think he will try his best to find a way to keep him from doing it. And Mitch McConnell is about as good as anybody in the world at the byways and techniques of the Senate. I mean, he's really, really good.
Rand Paul can vote against it. You only need 51 votes to pass it. But Rand Paul is empowered to filibuster it. Will he? His principles say he must.
It certainly would cut to the chase in terms of getting government off your back, since there wouldn't be one. That would simplify things considerably.
Not just this government, governments around the world.
That's my point. So there, in fact, that's anarchy. I believe there used to be before we threw the word communist out at people that we did not like. We threw the word anarchist out at them in the late 19th century, and you're suggesting that this is what could be on the table if Mr. Paul were to, in fact, Senator-elect Paul were to, in fact,
this is a real question. Lawrence is raising this not as I think as hyperbole, but this is an issue that they're really seriously debating on the right.
This is the only person I'm aware of who will take the oath of office as a United States Senator.
That's enough, and they go on to demonize